Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Friday the 13th on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. And if you want to purchase any of the pods featured in this build and support the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links down in the description too. So Friday the 13th, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p and 720p. To skip any of those sections of the video, check the description below. And stay tuned that tomorrow I'll be uploading this same game, but tested on the GTX 750 Ti. I might be doing the RX 470 tomorrow too, we'll see. So first on 1080p, I'm going to be using the G4560. Targeting 60 frames per second. After that, I'll be targeting 30 by just cranking up the settings to epic. But there are some issues on epic, so I recommend lowering shadows and effects to avoid those drops below 30 frames per second. Then I switched to the i5 7400 since I saw on the G4560 on some minor places targeting 60 frames per second. The GPU usage can drop sometimes, making the game drop below 60. It's not a big issue, but I just wanted to show you how the GPU performs at its best. That's why I tested both CPUs, so you can see what each can offer. Then I tested 900p, again targeting 60 and 30 frames per second. So first I show you my 60 frames per second configuration, then my 30 frames per second configuration. And finally at 720p, in order to get 60 frames per second, I had to use pretty much high settings. And then for the 30 frames per second configuration-ish, I just cranked it up to epic. And you'll see that the game is pretty much at 60 frames per second with some drops to 40 every now and then on open areas. So this game was made using Unreal Engine 4, so I was expecting it to be quite demanding on the GPU. What was very interesting was that in the system requirements, the recommended GPU was a GTX 750 Ti, so I'm not sure what the recommended settings mean. There's even an i3 listed in the recommended requirements, so that's kind of nonsense for this game actually, because I tried it with a 1050 Ti and I couldn't max it out on 1080p without drops below 30 frames per second on some places. So I don't know what they were thinking when they made the system requirements. And in the options menu, we have usually the same settings that you can find on an Unreal Engine 4 game. We have a resolution scale slider, which is good to see for both super sampling and upscaling. Then we have anti-aliasing, which is not listed which solution it is. Effects, foliage, post-processing, shadows, textures, and view distance. So far, to get a good FPS boost, I had to lower most of the settings, but the first ones that I saw the biggest difference in performance were shadows, post-processing, and effects. Those were the ones that I saw more of a performance impact when they were on epic or high, so I suggest lowering those first. And then foliage and view distance have a lower impact in performance, but they still have an impact. So I recommend lowering them in groups, especially effects, shadows, and post-processing. For textures, if you have a 4GB video card, you can play it on epic without an issue. It was using over 2GB of VRAM with textures on epic, so I will try high or medium if you have a 2GB video card. But yeah, so far indoors the game runs pretty good when you're just looking for items inside a building. The problem is when you go outside and you have a lot of trees, a lot of foliage, maybe some water here and there. But so far just looking into the distance into those open areas is enough to have a noticeable drop in performance. And in the options menu I had some issues with the resolution. If I chose full screen, the game will just force 720p, but it didn't say 720p in the menu. And if I selected full screen windowed and I selected any resolution I wanted, it will force 1080p. So there's something weird going on with the options menu. That's why on 900p and 720p I'm playing on windowed mode, so I can actually use 900p and 720p. So I'm sorry about that, but the game is just weird with the resolutions. That's why on my videos you won't usually see 1440p and 4K on this game. I found it quite difficult to use DSR since the game is not really going over 1080p for some reason. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
my God! What happened?
Help! Oh, God. Fuck. Who is that?
Help! Oh God!
Hello. Copy, I'm in road therapy. 10-4-37.